Hello. Hi, guys. Thank you for making it. I'm very happy to be here. I just had a quick look in the exhibition, and I was I am very impressed. We see a lot of really good talent and very wide areas of photography. So well done. I'm really happy to be here. Many thanks to the Qatar Photographic Society, and good luck for the future of the exhibition. I've been here in the region for many years. I came here in 1990, and I've been doing photography ever since. And I specialize in sports photography. Today's talk will be focused on mainly on the human element of sports. Obviously, we will see a lot of sports photos, but a lot of that will be, it's all focused in the human element and the emotions that we see when we do sports. Anyway, just a little bit, I don't like to talk about myself too much, but just to put you in context, I also do other kind of photography, and I've done over the years. Just very quickly for you to see. A lot of the time, I'm not going to talk too much, hopefully. We'll just look at pictures. And I think if you guys want to ask a question of a particular picture or something, you can interrupt me, because then we will forget to talk about it later. So I'm good with that, yeah? I don't know if I can do that now, but anyway, I used to do these kind of things. Right, let's go into the presentation now. In sports, like, many aspects of life, we have to compete, right? So this section shows a little bit about that rivals, what it goes on, like when you're fighting to in a good sense, to get one thing. Like I said before, a lot of the photos are showing the human element, but some of them are proper, sports images. What I like about my job also is that, I can do high-level sports or with, world athletes, but also I enjoy equally doing community events and amateur competitions, and you always approach them in the same way. And a lot of these photos, I could, like I'm sure you guys, as photographers, I'm sure when you take pictures and you get that shot that you like, there is always a story behind those pictures, yeah? And I guess 95% of the pictures that I'm going to show you tonight, or I'm showing you tonight, they all have a story. But I'm not going to talk about that because we'll be here until tomorrow. So, but every picture for me has a very personal story. See, that's what I like when I'm taking images of athletes. I like to see not only the action, but mainly I love to see their faces, the effort, or the suffering, or the happiness, and I think we'll go through that through the pictures. This is, I'm going to talk a little bit about this because it's a very close image for me. I don't know, you're probably too young to remember these guys, but they're very, very famous tennis players, now both retired, Roger Federer and Andre Agassi. And many years ago, we did this very, very complicated shoot on top of the Burj Al Arab in Dubai in the helipad, and you know, we made the tennis court on top of the helipad, and we had these two guys that at the time they were super famous. Well, still are, at least Federer is, and so it was a really cool photo shoot. So in those days before social media. That shot went, that shoot went all over the world. Probably one of the first, how do you say now? It went viral. It was viral then. Okay, another section of which I'm also very interested, because when I used to play sports, for me was always a team sports. I always loved play team sports. So for me, that the team sports is, for me, is very interesting when I'm doing photography. And some of these are not perhaps necessarily a sport, but it's a mixture of sport and action. These are like obstacle races, and it's like that kind of event. These are relay triathlons. Sorry?
How difficult it is to capture individual sports rather than team sports?
Well, it's different challenges. I wouldn't say it's more difficult or less difficult. It's just different approach. If anything, the challenge would be that the emotions that you want to show are more difficult to get. Because you don't get that collaboration or help or in the team sports. But it's also very interesting. You can concentrate on faces and body language. And a lot of these pictures that I'm showing you, perhaps they are not perfect in the sense that, the backgrounds sometimes are not clean, or there's some distracting elements. But remember that 99.9% of the photos that I do are all real life situations. They're happening situations. I don't do any setup, or I don't stage any photography. So it's basically my brain has to work really quickly to be in the right place at the right time, and trying to make the image clean. I really have a thing with clutter backgrounds. But this is all things that are completely out of my control. So, for example, I'll go back. this image for me is brilliant because I've got a really nice, clean background. And this is all real life. It's just a lot of my photography is, or for you also, when you do sports and events, great part of your success will depend on your anticipation. That's super, super important, that you need to know what is going to happen, because you need, for example, in this race, if I don't know where the bicycles will go, I cannot choose my location. So, that is super, super important when you're doing sports. For example, here, the background, the boats there on the left-hand side, I have no control over them. So, and sometimes the clutter background actually makes or helps a little bit in the picture. A lot of the time, you have to if you cannot beat it, you have to join it. So you include the clutter background on purpose and to create that sense. So now we're going to talk a little bit more about, perhaps it's not individual sports, but it's achievements. Well, running, or it's a triathlon. Triathlon is a very individual activity. Again, when I'm doing, I will tell you a little bit about some how I think the pictures sometimes. And you will see perhaps late, in a series of photos. I always like to have that sense of, you don't know what's going to happen next. And normally the athletes I really like the pictures when the athletes are not fully connected to the ground, for example. In this, unfortunately, here is the screen is cut, but the whole action depends on the front toes here. That's all. The athlete is grounded with only, 2 toes and that's what I really like in a lot of my pictures.
Mr. Pablo.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I have 2 questions for you. First question, does when you take the photos, some people, like you're in the movement, interact with you or pumping you or like hit you in your photos?
Like hate me?
Yeah, hit
like,
you.
Oh, hit me.
Yes.
He hit me, okay. I don't remember that happening. When I do the pictures, and sometimes they might seem a little bit dangerous. For example, when these guys, they were running with the water.
The photo, yes.
Yeah. Yes, I'm a little bit in danger of getting wet, but it's a risk that you take. Obviously, I will not do that in front of a car or a motorbike, And sometimes you have to take a few risks and get your clothes dirty, and a lot of the time, when I'm doing pictures, a lot of the time I'm on the floor. This is all dirty.
And the second question for you: what does the lens that you use for take photos?
I use the lenses I use the most. I used zoom lenses, 24-70, and I use a 70-200. That's the basic lenses that I use. And if you if you close my eyes and take me anywhere that I don't know where I am, and you put me in any stadium and you tell me, take some pictures, then with those two lenses, I can do anything.
Thank you so much.
But for some sports, you need bigger lenses. Yeah, for football, for, you need, for the sports that you cannot be very close. Then
like football matches.
Yes, for football, you need big lenses, like maybe a 400 mm.
Yes. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. I use also a 15 fisheye lens, which is this one. In some occasions, when you can get really close, it's always really cool to have a big wide angle, especially when you have a nice background. Yeah? This is also getting very close to the action, I'm running with the guy, They won the World Cup in 2003, I think, a youth. No, you were not born, long time. How do I get the focus in this photo? I have to be super honest. It's all luck. No, I just put it in the middle. I choose the middle, and I try to keep my camera when I'm running. I'm trying to keep it in the middle. Yeah, but I shoot a lot because a lot of the pictures will be out of focus. Good, very good question. You have to shoot a lot in these situations. Yeah. The same wide angle that you were saying. And for this, I also have a flash, outside the camera to brighten the athlete. This is for far away from the top of a building with a long lens. But then, for example, here I waited for the guy to come it was all in the shade, and it was a little bit of light. So again, you probably know about light and shades and stuff like that. Not really the topic of today conversation, but it's all mixed. The winner of a race. And all these photos are from the region, yeah? Everything is from here. Oh. Again, using a big wide angle. This is the famous player Venus Williams. But another thing that I love to do in my photos is to tell a story. That's the main objective of me doing the pictures, is to be able to tell a story with one picture. And again, the angles that you choose, sometimes you don't have to show, always the faces. Sometimes, just a gesture like that is enough to tell a story. For example, for boxing, you don't need a big lens. If you're lucky enough that you are in the ring, then. He's asking if I use manual or no. It's okay. If I leave it with him. No, what's your name?
Rashid.
Rashid is asking if I use manual or AV.
Yes.
Or TV or time value. You can use, anyway. Mainly, if I have time, like I'm talking about seconds to be able to change things, I will use manual. But when I'm for example, when I'm running next to the guy with the flag, I will use TV. No, TV. I use TV. Yeah, time value. Yeah. Because the cameras now are so good that you don't need to think too much. If you know what you're doing, the cameras help you a lot if you put them in program mode.
And now some cameras, the new cameras, use the autofocus. Like you just choose where you want to take, and it will autofocus. Like
Exactly.
You don't have to
Exactly.
do it.
Yeah. It makes our life easier.
Yes.
Again, playing with different angles and light and shadows. And it's the same situation, but she, because this tennis player, she does a serve from that side in the sun, and the next serve, she does it from the shadows. So I left the two pictures because I couldn't choose which one I liked better. You were asking Rashid about how close or how in danger you are. This is I'm very, very, very close. But obviously, when you know the sport, you know that the bicycle, naturally, if it has any problem there in that corner, it will go that way. Yeah, if it falls, because it's coming from the left. It's a kind of a U-turn. Let's say it's like kind of a U-turn. So if any problem, he will go away from you. So you can be really, really close. I love this picture also, that we're talking about emotions and sense of achievement. And you cannot deny that they are from the same family. And he's a very proud father with the two kids that they just finished a marathon. So for me, that was really nice. With the picture of the sheikh in the background, which adds, it was a marathon in the sheikh's honor. So, it's telling a story also. The other thing that is really, really amazing is in the last years in the region, how women have but now regularly do sports, and that is really, really nice to see. And sometimes, to tell a story, you don't need to show everything. You just the opposite. You go tight, and with that, you can tell a story. Okay. We're just going to see more dedicated images of sportmen, in action. And this is another picture that, for me, is very, very close to my heart. And technically, perhaps we all know that it's not a brilliant picture. It's just a picture with a flash, with a lot of people in the background. But when we realize, when we see who they are, I'm from Argentina. So for me, football and Messi now and Maradona in my time, it's a lot of emotions for me. So this picture was really, really nice for me because it was during a tennis match in Dubai, and Roger Federer was playing. Maradona was there, and Maradona really wanted to meet Federer. So when he finally met him, this happened, and you can see how happy Maradona was and how happy Federer was. And I've known Federer for many years of taking pictures, and he's a fantastic guy, but he's not very expressive. So for me to get a smile out of him there, it was really good. And talking about Messi, when he won the Club World Cup in Abu Dhabi. And I love this picture because you have the celebration, you have the loser, you know, and the word there, the sign also adds to the story. See, when I was talking, I mean, I love all these pictures, but some of them are technically better than others. It doesn't matter to me, you know. When I capture an expression, for me, if the background is great and if the light is great, it's fantastic. But if it's not that perfect, also for, you know, I always value that image for what it shows, you know, the emotions. And I'm sure some of you must have covered tennis. You know, has anybody done tennis here in Qatar? You have two really good tournaments here, no? But you have two really good tournaments. So. And these guys also come to Qatar, you know. And like I was saying before, for me it doesn't really matter if he's a big athlete, a big, you know, player, or somebody's daughter, you know, finishing a marathon and being congratulated by her mom. I think this is the Indian tennis national team. See, these kind of pictures I really like because you see both sides. You know, you see the winning team and the losing team. You see that this little guy could have just scored a goal in the World Cup. It could be. It's the same emotion as if it was a World Cup final goal. You know.
Sir, now in some photos, does your goal to take the quality of the photo or the story of the photo?
Again, that's a really good question, Rashid. I think it's a mixture of both. I think if I have to choose one, I would say the story. For me, to tell the story is the main thing. And if you can tell the story with a very clean quality picture, fantastic. That's the 100%. But if you cannot, then I would go for the story first. And then if there are some elements that are not that perfect, okay, so be it. I try my best. But the story for me is, yeah. I like your questions, Rashid. See, we saw the picture of the little guy celebrating the goal, and this is a professional. See, that's the story, you know, somebody scoring a goal, celebration, and misfortune. And again, Rashid, for example, these bottles here really bother me visually, right? and I wish they were not there. But I'm not going to remove them. I'm not going to clone them or anything. It is what it is. You know, that's what it was. I mean, my background. Sorry, I should have maybe mentioned this. My background and my degree originally is on journalism. So I'm kind of, and also a little old-fashioned in that sense. That I like to kind of show or present what it was as it was. You know, I don't really like to change many things, you know. So I try to be true to the story. He's Novak Djokovic winning a tournament, and that was his reaction. I really like this picture also. The guy got really upset and smashed the racket, and when he bounced back, I mean, I was pure luck, you know. Don't you know, it wasn't genius. It was pure luck. Like, I'm sure you guys have those moments too. Again, positioning and anticipation. You know what's going to happen. You know, so I need to be, in these situations, I need to be right in the middle to be able to make, because I like kind of balance photos. You know, I don't like to shoot too much up or, you know, wide angles in these situations, you know. So you need to kind of anticipate what's going to happen. And then when you're doing events, also it's nice to not to stay in one place, you know. So always move around. Move around. Exactly. You just, if you're shooting a tennis court, try to go around, try to go up and around, and look all the different places that you can take pictures from. You will be amazed. You can be shooting for days and days and days, you know, because you always, if you have a curious mind, you always want to find different places. Sorry? Exactly. When you move around, you get a lot more chances, Rashid just said.
I have a
Are we running out?
No.
Another question.
I have a question over here.
Okay.
When you said like you keep changing your place, you can to get better chances. But how do you deal with other photographers around and pushing others?
That's a very good question. Don't fight. Don't fight with the other guys. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time you will be restricted by the organizers or where you can move, and that's fair. But within your allowed areas, don't just, you know, like I'm saying, don't just sit. If you can move, if you're allowed to move, move. And with the other photographers, well, what situation do you? He says that sometimes you'll find another photographer will come and push you. I think that is more a matter of how each of us deal with situations in general. And, you know, I mean, I guess try to make friends and say, don't push me, I don't know, or push, you know, give me 2 minutes and then you know, it's more of a personal thing, I think. In my case, I've gone through all the ranges, you know, from being nice and making a joke or being angry, and, you know, it depends how you wake up that morning. She won the winner, the player of the match, and she was so emotional, you know, she couldn't stop crying. This is a funny event. Do you know the darts? Yeah, you know the darts? Well, this is a professional dart player winning the competition. It's not my brother. Don't laugh. You're making jokes there. Yeah, I can see you. And sometimes, you know, the rulers, you know, they are very formal and with a certain way. But when that change is really unique, you know, to see a ruler expressing, you know, happiness, you know, is in such a way in front of everyone. So very, very unique. So you have to be ready to take the picture. Sometimes in some events you can get really, really close to people, and you know, and you were, Rashid, you were asking how you if you are scared sometimes that something will happen to you or your cameras. I mean, this is they're throwing foam, you know, everywhere, and so in this particular event, and not only foam, but they throw this color powder everywhere. That's why you see their shirts is all blue, you know, and orange and green. And so for these events, all my cameras are completely covered, you know, like if I'm taking pictures in the rain, you know, you have to protect them completely. Yeah, yeah. Correct. Yeah, yeah. You have to completely cover them. Some football fans. Formula One fans. Different angles. Sometimes, you know, all the photographers are in the front there to get a nice shot of the winner crossing the line, which is what we have to do a lot of the time. But for example, for this particular event, I was working for somebody, for the venue, you know, for Yas Marina Circuit. So for us was not super important who won, but more to show the atmosphere of the place. So for a change, I didn't want to be with the other photographers so they don't push you. Yeah. So I chose another angle, and I thought I'll do it from the back. And I was talking about Roger Federer, that he doesn't show emotions, but he does sometimes when he wins. And this is the final photo of the talk. For me, it's very emotional because it's a marathon, and it's obviously an older gentleman. that is running on his own. You know, who knows what he does for a living, but he just ran. I can't remember. I think it was 20 kilometers. I can't remember exactly how much it was, but he just crossed the line on his own. And you know, that celebration on his own for me is a testament of what our life should be. You know, to try our best, to go for it, to give it a go, and when you achieve something, to celebrate. Thank you very much, guys.
The last question.
No, Mishmaul. Fadal. Happy to answer.
Now, because I'm a new photographer on the camera, I was before on the phone, but now I upgrade to camera. What is a good quit for me, for like a good thing to start? نصيحة. Advice. Yes, for me because I'm on camera.
Okay. I'm trying to be short. Practical advice. You will learn a lot by looking at pictures. You know, now, you know, with online or whatever, you can see, you can Google. You know, if you're interested in motorbikes,
Yes.
race, for example. So you'll have millions of pictures. Just look at the pictures. You know, not like that, but just look and think. You know what.
Imagine the photo.
Yeah, yes, and be curious and say how this guy did this picture, you know, like
Think about it.
Yeah, you're curious. You think, and then you start thinking, and even you can Google how you did this. That's one advice. The other advice: go with the camera and take many pictures, and make mistakes. Yeah. And now with you can take the picture and see what you have, and change the settings, you know, and you can see immediately what you're doing wrong.
Yes. Learn from my mistakes. That's what you
Exactly. But
Yes.
but work. You know, is in this life nothing is easy. You know, we're not genius. You know, very few people can pick up a camera and do fantastic pictures. Very, 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 very few. Most of us, we have to work at getting better. And the way to do that is to go out and do many pictures.
Right.
As much as you can. Whenever you have free time, you go and do pictures and experiment.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Brilliant. Any more questions, guys? Okay. There's one more there.
If you're at an event with a lot of other photographers at the same spot, what would make your photo stand out?
The way you look at things, perhaps when I'm with, I know what you mean, because when I'm with other very good photographers, you are a little bit kind of intimidated, no, but you think, well, how can I be different from all these guys? You know, they're all very good. How can I be different? What I normally do is I just try to block myself, and, you know, I'm alone. You know, I am on my own. And I'm not looking at what lens they're using or, you know, how they're shooting. I just do my own thing. And if you think that you need to use a big lens and go close, okay, do that. And then you think, now I'm going to change. I'm going to use a big wide angle, you know, or I'm going to wait for a tennis player. I'm going to wait for when the tennis play. Maybe I'm not going to do an action shot. I'm going to do when she goes like this, or, you know, or he goes, you know, or, you know, something that is out of the regular schedule of the sport. But you have to, your brain has to be always, you know, it's 100% in the action and trying to anticipate, you know, like once you learn a little bit of the sport and then you learn the player, for example, I'm talking about tennis player, for example, a tennis player, or, you know that, for example, the guy, after he hits the ball, he does 3 steps back and he goes like that, you know. So then you know when those repetitive things are going to happen, and you can anticipate. But mainly it's just your brain to stay focused and your eyes open, always. Don't talk to anyone. Don't be on the phone. You know, you have to have 110% concentration at the end of your lens. And don't worry about what the other guys are doing.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for the great talk. I just had a quick question. Normally in sports photography, photographers specialize in a certain sport, in shooting a certain sport. But I wanted to ask you, how, throughout your career, how did you split your time between all the sports? And do you have a favorite?
Okay, that's a really nice question also. I have to go back a little bit. In my case, what I do or what I've done through my career has been, it's my passion, don't get me wrong, but it's been my job. And I had to support my family by doing this. So I've always taken my favorite has always been football, always. But unfortunately, I could never do enough of football. So I had to mix it with other things, even sports that I'm not super keen. For example, I'm not a Formula One crazy fan, but I do a lot of Formula One photography. and maybe that's why, they say that I'm more or less good at that, because maybe I just look at things differently, because I'm not technical either. But the other thing that I wanted to tell you is that because I've been so lucky that I had the chance to do so many different things, that now if I do, for example, when I do a tennis tournament, the tennis tournament is usually 1 week. Sometimes they have the men and the women, and there's 2 weeks. And it's all this, it's all the same logistics and same movements. And so by the end of the second week, my head is a little bit heavy, I'm bored kind of thing. So basically, I try to keep myself entertained. And most of my best photos are when I'm a little bit bored. Because instead of me being on the phone, I say, the team football, let's say, the team is attacking the other side. Okay. I'm just going. No, I get bored, so I look at things. What can I shoot? So you always find things to shoot, and I don't know if that answers your question, but basically, I've been blessed that I have been lucky to be able to do all these different sports, and there's no one sport that I will say no, just the opposite. Now, very rarely now, at this stage of my career, a new sport that I've never covered before comes along, but when it does, I get extremely excited, because all the buzzing of going to a sport that you don't know and you have to learn, it kicks in, and I'm with the older sports that I know inside out. I am now very comfortable and very confident. I know where to go, what to do. With the new sports, that's when the adrenaline kicks in. All right, I think we need to go home. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you can go home and maybe use some of the ideas, and I hope this has been useful for you.
Please, we would like just
Okay. Oh, oh, okay, okay. Great. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Thank you very much. Very nice. 37. Ah. Well done, man. Yeah. Oh, picture? Sorry. Okay. Well done. Another one. Oh. There are a few of them, yeah? We'll pick it up. Oh, that's heavy. It's okay, I'll hold it for you. All right. Are you okay?
This coupon for photo shoot, 2,000 riyal. Photoshop, family, 2,000 riyal.
Very nice. Ah, well done. Oh, sorry. Well done. This for the presenter. Brilliant. Good, you do.